Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. Now today we're going to talk about the KI-RIN, or the KI-RIN, I've heard it pronounced both ways, which is a astonishing good creature that comes to us from the original monster manual for use with Dungeons & Dragons, both basic and advanced, or what's typically called 1E is what it came out with. And it's a very cool creature on the side of good. Okay, at -5 armor class, 12 hit dice, 90% resistant to magic. Wow. It gets a 2 hoofs and I think it's actually a horn attack rather than just a bite or anything. And that does like 2 to 18 or something like that. It's not a super high amount of damage that they do in their physical attacks, but they are super intelligent, genius level, amazingly intelligent. And they have, I mean, look at this thing. This thing is amazing looking. They are lawful good. And with that supra genius intelligence, wow, they can really help you. Now, on top of all that, they also have psionics. I'm not going to spend a great deal on the psionics, but it's a powerful addition to the things that they can do. Now, these powerful creatures, they live in the air. It's not so much that they are from the elemental plane of air, but it is something where their hoofs don't touch the ground. They live in the clouds and beyond the winds and this kind of stuff. And obviously, this comes to us from Japanese mythology, and you can certainly flesh out this character a great deal. But going by the book that's here, these are super powerful creatures. Now, they're so powerful and so out there that they rarely interact with humans. You'll never find them more than one at a time. But if they interact with humans, it's because of some great need of evil or something that you've done for the KI-RIN or your group's done for the KI-RIN to warrant its attention and support. But it's very rare that it'll actually go out and help adventuring parties and humans and things like that. Of course, that's all flexible depending on your dungeon master, so no question about that. But when it comes to using its mind and using its magic, cool stuff. Now, they're able to use all the spells there are. We're talking magic spells here. And they use them at the 18th level of use, as if they were a 18th level magic user. Wow. I mean, we're talking everything. You know, from turning invisible to meteor swarms and time stops and things like this. That's really impressive. And of course, on top of this, they have psionic abilities. I think they have, 4 major disciplines and 6 minor disciplines, and they operate at, I think it's like the 9th level of mastery. And, I mean, from a psionic standpoint, these are very, very powerful creatures. And, of course, a lot of what comes with psionics are things that, from a magical standpoint, you don't discern the difference. In other words, they can create full-blown visual, auditory, taste, smell, the whole 9 yards, any kind of mind tricks on you, and it can do very detailed and powerful ones based on its psionic control. And of course, this includes things like creating actual usable goods. It can huge amounts of things like soft goods and even things like gold and stuff like that, but it only lasts for a short period of time, like a few other select creatures from the monster manual. They are truly, truly amazing on this side. They can really create all kinds of atmosphere. They can teleport, make themselves look like something else. I mean, they can really screw with a group because they're so powerful. Fortunately, as long as you're good, it's okay, because so are they. Now, these creatures are, like I said, very solitary creatures, and you're not going to run into them very often. But if you do, I mean, they're outrageous looking. I mean, you can see from the pictures, they're all shiny and bright, and these are not going to, in their natural form, be unnoticed, to say the very least. Now, because of their special connection to the air, they are able to pretty much double up the value of anything that is air related in their cornucopia of magic. So if they summon an aerial creature, it'll have twice the hit points, do twice the damage. It's a pretty nice little thing it can do. Now, of course, this is Dungeons and Dragons, so it speaks its own tongue. I don't know what that's about. And it has the telepathic ability to speak with other creatures, so it doesn't really need to know anybody else's language since it can speak to you via the mind. Really, overall, a very, very tough creature, very cool creature. For us dwarves, have we ever run into a KI-RIN? Oh, please, really? Where would we do so? They don't even touch the earth. The earth is like everything to us dwarves. Well, that and the beard. But how would we run into one of these? Unless we were in a specific adventure or group where, as a whole, we ran into it, it's not very likely. And in talking to my dwarven brethren, yep, come up with goose eggs again, there's nobody who's had an encounter with the KI-RIN. The big magic horse with the unicorn thing. Which, by the way, that unicorn horn acts as a +3 weapon. Pretty cool. Once in a great while, you may find a KI-RIN cooperating with another, like a deity or something like that, even being used as a steed, which I have seen happen once in an adventure playing. So not for us dwarves, but in the gaming world, going out to the greater Hornhelm community, we talked to them about this and said, hey, you DMs and players, what about the KI-RIN, this thing? And they came back and gave it some very, very positive numbers. The DMs that I spoke to gave this a solid 8 to a 9. I don't disagree with that at all. This is one heck of a powerful creature. I could have even gone with 9.5. I don't know that anything deserves a 10, but this is about as close as you get when it comes to a lawful good creature. And of course, going out to the players out there, from their view, much the same. This came across pretty much universally as a 9. And that's not because they valued it as or ranked it as an opponent. This is how powerful they were. And because they tended to operate in good parties, it was more of a help than a hindrance. So what they could see, though, this was one very, very powerful creature. Can't argue with that. It certainly is. There's no two ways about it. You really have to be thoughtful if you're going to include these in a dungeon because of all the things that they can do, and remembering that they're so intelligent, they are going to be very, very hard to use or abuse from anybody who's on the outside. You're not going to win against them in negotiations. You're not going to know more than they do. These are almost godlike in their knowledge. So, pretty cool creature. That, my friends, is the KI-RIN. If you found today's presentation to be interesting, amusing, educational, all that kind of good stuff, hey, what the heck, drop us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Share with your friends. Leave us a comment. But by all means, come back and see us again real soon. We very much appreciate your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!